Well, welcome back everybody to Motorsport Manager, the GT series, and what is fast becoming a fresh type of hell for me to keep recording this series, but we're going to keep on going. We will fight through, okay? I've just watched a trailer for a movie coming up, Darkest Hour, featuring Winston Churchill, or like a portrayal of his life during World War II. That's kind of my inspiration at the moment. Just keep fighting on, even when things look at their darkest hour. We may somehow find a result that lifts us up the order, but of course we were 19th and 20th last time, and of course Vosu crashed out. We've still got parts coming, we've still got money in the bank, and we're still developing the car, so there's still hope that we can move this car forward. This was always going to be a rebuilding year, and then next year we'll see if we really are going to move forward, or we're going to be stuck at the back for forever, in which case we'll probably give up. But for the moment, we're going to stay optimistic and we're going to keep going. So, just going to double check how many brakes we'd built. Was that the first brakes? No, that was the second brake. Okay. So, I think we're going to go on suspension now. We'll go for, I guess, reliability. That's pretty rubbish, isn't it? Is that really... I can't put any risk level on the car. We're doing bad enough already. Getting rid of the red zone, I guess, is pretty helpful, but I'd rather... I guess if we get rid of the red zone, actually, because we can always improve the reliability. The red zone we can't minimise apart from when the part is built, so we'll go for red zone. A completely pointless part, to be honest, but it's only costing us a couple of 100,000, so no problems there. And we will continue until the repairs are done. We've got to catch up at some point, haven't we? We've just got to. We've got money. We're still developing the car. Surely they can't all be as bad as... Someone's got to be worse than us in this league, surely. Surely. Please, let them be. Okay, so I think we're okay with that engine now at 73. I'll move that over to the new set of brakes, I guess. And performance. We've got quite a bit to find in that new suspension, but we'll carry on with the gearbox for the moment. I think we'll actually move those brakes over to that engine. Let's get the two engines and the two gearboxes maxed out, and we'll go from there. Got a couple of sponsor offers. We'll wait till we have 3, so we have the best chance of getting the best deal. Some more money in the bank is going to be pretty useful. There we go. So we want an upfront payment because we're not going to finish first or second. So an upfront payment of 200,000. Wow. Cheers, guys. You really believe in me. That's so bad. Oh well. We'll carry on. Okay. Have any of these raised enough yet? No, not really. We'll stay on the gearbox and the brakes, I think. Oh, this has gone to 20. Why does that keep going to 20-0? I've got both selected. I clearly want to continue on both. Can we get rid of Tom Woodbridge? He's not exactly the greatest race mechanic in the world. You're really not the best driver in the world to be making those demands, Tang. Let's be honest. I mean, why? He's not that bad, is he? No. I mean, we're not paying him much money. We haven't got much money. Look, you're going to take that hit on morale. I'm sorry. You can't just demand we get rid of your race engineer. Work with him, lad. Work with him. Right, we continue. New suspension is finished then. I think we'll stay concentrating on that gearbox. We're never going to get that suspension ready for the next race anyway. And we will build a second suspension. We'll go again, -10 to the red zone, and we'll go +40 to max. I think 66, yeah. It'll take a little bit longer, but we don't take that huge hit on reliability. Neither of those suspension parts are going to be ready for the next race anyway, so we may as well just continue as we can. Performance looking okay, reliability, yeah, I think we'll keep on with what we're doing until the race. Just try and get everything as high as possible. Once that gearbox is finished on reliability, we'll go over to the engine, try and get them both up to 80%, because I really don't think we're going to be getting a new engine or gearbox anytime soon. as we can barely afford to put the cheapest parts on the car at the moment. But everything's okay, honestly. Factory feedback. No, there is no money. The coffers are dry. You're lucky you've got a wage and a roof over your head, to be honest. Got it. No problem. Right, I think the performance work is practically done. Yeah, they're just one away from everything. So let's move now on to the suspension and to the 2 new brakes. And we'll continue with that. And we're going to be ready for Beijing then. We've got to do what we can. Hopefully we can have an okay race. We'll go for 10th or above. Let's have a look at the last 3 races. 19th, 12th and 10th. 10th should be possible. And the car continues to move forward. So we've got to be hopeful. That's the buzzword of the moment. I'm overusing it far too much, but we've got to be hopeful. Right, we can use these 2 new gearboxes for the first time. 66 and 69 is still a little bit worrying, but we should be okay, to be fair. New suspension we can't really use just yet. Same with the brakes. So at least we get 2 new parts on the car for the weekend. I'm going to get going with practice then, and I'll be back with you for qualifying. Okay, we're into qualifying. Practice was not too bad as usual. 96% for Vosu, 95% for Tang. And we know pretty much what's going to happen. We're going to go pretty quickly through this qualifying session and probably through the races now. Try and keep these episodes nice and short because we just know what's going to happen. It's going to take a long time to see if these changes we've made to the financing will actually take effect. Because the more I think about it, the more I think that we had so little money for the first 2 seasons that we're probably so far behind already. Now that we're budgeting properly and we've got money to spend on parts, it's just going to make it even tougher. So it might take a while. So we just got to accept where we're probably going to be in these qualifying sessions and in the races. Vosu 21.3, Tang a 21.6. And finally, order seems to have been restored between the 2 drivers. Vosu, we were expecting to be quicker anyway. Hopefully they can find a little improvement in the final run. And Vossi's actually ahead of a few cars at the moment. Oh no, they've just improved. So 18th and 20th at the moment. If we can pick Pip Farah, that would be good. Up in 17th. But otherwise, we're going to be knocked out in Q1. There's a big gap to that midfield. That's the gap we need to close down, really. And it might take another season to do that. And that's why we're going to try it, as I said, and keep these as brief as possible at the moment. So we'll send them out for their second run. See if they can find a little bit of improvement with the track now gripping up. And we've also got to start looking for a driver. I think if we're committing to next season 100%, as long as we achieve our objective and don't get fired, which is a very real possibility at the moment, considering we struggled so much at early doors to get points. But I've also got to remember what we said at the end of last race. It's that there's a very good chance 8th will be settled purely on countback, in which case every position we have to fight for in the race. Every position could be the difference between different places in the championship. Tang improves by a 10th to do a 21.5. Vosu also finds a 10th to do a 21.2. Our 2 drivers actually improved in their final run. That is unique. Doesn't normally happen, but it's not enough to improve the positions. I think that actually lifted Vosu back to 17th because he dropped to 18th. But it's 18th and 20th. Lifted him back to 18th. He dropped to 19th. But it's what we expect. Hopefully we can have a little bit of a better race than qualifying. So I shall skip through the rest of Q2 and Q3 now and join you for the race. Okay, it's race day then, and we're not going to be saved by any wet weather, unfortunately. I can't remember if we've actually had a wet race this year. Hasn't seemed like we've had many, which are probably our best chance of getting some kind of freak result, which we're going to need. I still feel there could be one opportunity at some point to get a point. 1 point could lift us 4 or 5 positions in the final standings the way things are going. So I think we're going to start Vosu on softs, as he's generally the quicker of the 2 cars, and we will start Tang on the medium tyres. and see how long he can go on those. It's not too hot out there, so tyre warm-up should be okay, and they shouldn't overheat, hopefully. It is quite a twisty track, though, so you never know. We're going to push and high engine mode from the beginning. We've got weight stripping, of course, but I don't think any of our parts are really high enough yet. No, the highest we've got is 80 on the stock rear wings, so I don't really want to gain any performance by knocking that reliability down anymore. So, hey, this is an exercise in patience and keeping your cool, as always. So we're underway. We're going to go straight up to 2-speed, and we'll probably go up to 3-speed for the middle part of the, later in the race, just again to get things moving. If I can get these down sort of 20-25 minutes, they're a bit more digestible for you guys. Pretty okay start. Vosu is up 17th, Tang 18th. We're keeping pace at the moment. Vosu has a few medium tyre runners, so hopefully if he can get past those and stretch his legs over them, it will at least show we've got okay pace if we're on the opposite tyre. If we can't even get past the medium guys on the soft tyres, then we're going to have real struggles this afternoon. But tyre warm-up looking good on the softs, a little bit slower on the mediums as we would expect. Vosu is now up to 16th. He's got 2 medium tyre runners ahead. He's just got past Giuliani there, or he's battling with him. And he's made that move stick, so that's 15th. One more car, Minzy, if he can get past up into 14th place, then it's going to make things a bit simpler. Going to have a look down into turn 1 then. We're going to use the boost there just to make sure we get a little back. There's apparently a penalty for Minzy on that, in his maybe overly aggressive defending when Vosu was trying to get past there. Vosu actually racing okay with these soft tyre runners. Not too bad. So we're going to stick the fuel back to medium. I'm going to keep pushing on the medium tyres. I'm going to go back to neutral on Vosu's softs, as they're starting to get on the slightly hot side now. I think it's one thing we need to improve overall, really, is the way we look after the tyres. We tend to really react too late to them, and we ruin tyre sets when it's really unnecessary to do so. So at least they both seem to be in the good working range at the moment. Vosu is up to 12th. There's a yellow flag for Parisi, who is out of the race. No safety car though. No rain on the horizon. Vosu up to 11th. Showing really good pace early doors here, Vosu. It's always after the first stint we fall back. I don't know why that is. Whether it's because we take a long time in the pits because our engineers aren't the best. It's possible. But we'll see how we do today. But Vosu keeping pace at the moment. Tyres look like they're going to be good for about another 5 or 6 laps at least. The medium tyres not lasting that much longer at the moment. We've had a couple of cars pit, 3 cars pit, and obviously 1 out. So it means Tang is last of this lead group, but is actually up in 16th. Tyres starting to overheat a little bit there, so we'll go back to neutral. And a lot of boost to use. I don't know when the best time to use this is. Probably when people start peeling into the pits, so he doesn't get held up. A lot of people have done that now. So I think we're going to use that boost now. As good a time as any anyway. And I think we'll use it for Vosu next time around. A lot of people diving in very early here. Soft tyres seem to be wearing pretty heavily for a lot of people, but to be fair, a lot of those did start in the top 10s. They'll be qualifying tyres as well. But we certainly seem a bit more competitive than we have done in recent races. A lot of people coming into the pits now. We use that boost from Vosu, who's promoted to 5th on track, but of course we expect him to be in that back group once he's pitted. Just really push the tyres as far as we can go. It's probably going to be a 2-stop strategy. Oh, Vosu's out again. Oh, Jakob. Jakob. I don't know what to do with you, mate. This is not acceptable. Don't turn into Maldonado, please. Yeah, we may as well take the opportunity to make the pit stop with Tang. So it's going to be It's a little bit early, that's the problem. It's going to be a 2-stop race. We're looking at minimum about 24 laps on 2 sets of mediums. We really need to do a couple more laps on these mediums, but we'll lose the chance. We might have to do a 3-stop here, or take advantage of future safety cars. Okay, let's go on to softs with Tang. I think 2 sets of medium, I don't think we'll get there on 2 stops because it's too early. So we're going to have to make the stop now. It's going to compromise our race, but if we stay out, it's going to compromise it more. That's the thing. We could have taken over the net lead of the race there, but it would have been a bit risky. Tang is going to come back out in 13th place, so that helps us out in terms of that. Right, let's back up. No, let's go neutral and low on the fuel. Try and save as much fuel as possible. I wish there was an option to switch these driver profiles around. Again, my recording button isn't on top of my fuel, which is not useful. Oh, I can't believe Voss is out again. We're going to have to take a poring over his stats and see if this is something he's going to be prone at. I don't remember this happening at all last year. So it might just be a couple of unlucky races. We've got to take that into consideration, but we've got to take a look at his stats and see if there's anything there that's causing it that's particularly low. There's not much we can really do this season. But it's a shame. He was running really well and looked like he had good pace this race. But we must pin our hopes on Tang once again. Tang, who actually has the best result of the season so far in 10th from the first race. But we'll see what we can do. I think he's going to have to do a 3-stop now, unfortunately. Right, safety car coming in this lap. So we'll go back to medium. Actually, let's go high fuel for the restart. Is the engine and gearbox okay? It is. Let's go push the first lap or two. Let's use his boost to try and help defend some of these positions. He's got both those places back, and he's back up into 13th there. So we'll see if we can race these guys. 10th is the target. That 200,000 would be incredibly useful. Never know. A couple more cars drop out. We could get up there. I'm a bit hesitant as to whether Tang can hold on to this 13th place though. Right, we're going to go back to neutral. The tyres are overheating a little bit. And we're going to go back to medium on the fuel. Just save it for later laps. I think we've got 0.65 available. So I'm having to read that through a recording button. So hopefully that's correct. Right, Tang dropping back through a little bit now. As was probably expected. This was about where he was lapping before the safety car. And yeah, I think we'll just leave it on 3 speed. It's going to be a fairly straightforward race from now on. So 20 laps to go. Can we get these soft tyres another 7 or 8 laps? And then we might have a chance of getting to the finish on a set of mediums. We have to make that decision pretty early though, because if we're going to go 3-stop, we may as well go early on the 3-stop and then just do soft tyres until the end. So we'll see how they go. Everybody's pretty bunched up, so the undercut might be quite potent here. There's a long lap as well, which always helps with the undercut. So everything going okay. We're not last of the runners, that's the most important thing to remember. Alright, Tang, I'm going to use some of this boost to help him defend. Probably should have used it at the beginning of the straight rather than the end. And it's not enough. Oh, he suddenly pops back past Minzy, just about. So, I think we've pretty much screwed ourselves by putting under that safety car. Well, we had no choice, really. Yeah, we're going to have to do 2 more stops. We should be able to do it on 2 sets of softs, so that's what we'll do. It's disappointing, really. Thing is, most of the runners at the moment on the medium tyres are going to be able to do 2-stop strategies. There's quite a few that might be on a 3 though, so we might be able to race a few people. And you never know. With a safety car, it could bring it back in, so we'll see. Now, hopefully we'll have an okay pit stop as they go behind the bridge. The simulated Shanghai bridge there. Fairly good stop. We're back out in last place. Quite a gap to those medium tyres ahead. Hopefully we can make some inroads to them now, but they're going to be good till the end. Are they? They might be okay. They should be okay to the end of the race. There's a chance they'll have to make one more stop. But we'll see how quickly Tang can catch them and hopefully pass them. That might be a bit optimistic. We'll have to see. Tyre temps are about perfect. We can just stay on normal and we don't overheat and don't cool off. So that's a good thing. I'm really worried we're going to be stone dead last by a mile again, because I think we're going to have to stop, and I don't know that anybody else is ahead of us. We will see. Definitely anybody out at this point, which is basically the top 11, they can definitely go to the end after this. It's those 5 cars ahead of us that I think might have to make a third stop. So just keep an eye on the times. We're just not catching them. Brakes feeling strange. Yep, 29. Right, we've got some boost to use. We'll use it out of the final corner and down the straight where it's going to be most useful. Still not enough to overtake anybody. And we're struggling once again. See, that safety car came at just the wrong time. Because a lot of people were already pitted, they stayed out. Because we hadn't pitted and we still had a cut, those extra 2 or 3 laps would have been crucial. Because it meant a 2-stop would have been 100% possible. Those extra 2 laps on top just made it too risky, really. I thought we were better off maybe just going flat out on the softs till the end, but the fact we can't even catch the medium tyre runners ahead shows you everything you need to know about our pace. One thing that I guess is a little crumb of comfort is there's definitely people that are going to be pitting with us. Silveria ahead and Farah ahead of Silveria. They're both definitely going to make a third stop. So at least we'll have a couple of cars to race till the end. Alright, it's got a warning on a couple of parts. 29-23, yeah. There's not much we can do about that. We'll lose too much time repairing. And we're last anyway. We've got to fight for every position, let's remember that. Especially with Vosu out in 19th, goodness me. Alright, we're going to have to pit on this lap. We'll go for another set of soft tyres. They should go to the end. We've got 10 laps first time. These have done 7 laps so far. So we've had to push them a little bit. We just lose so much time. There's really no point. We're probably going to finish last anyway. So there's nothing to lose really by going to the end. Engine and gearbox is a little bit warm. We can probably... Oh, mistake. We lost 6 seconds anyway. God damn it. Right, we'll use a little bit of fuel. We're about to be lapped, unfortunately. Let's see if we can undercut Farah and Silveria. There's a chance to get 16th here. Which for Tang, it'd probably be a win, let's be honest. Depends on these blue flags. Like, we know how bad the AI are at letting the leaders through. They generally just back off completely. Luckily, there's quite a big gap between first and second. Right. 3 cars ahead are in the pits. Let's use the boost out of the final corners to give ourselves the best chance. No. We had to let a leader pass. Oh, shut up, Tang. I'm getting fed up with you, mate. I really am. You're good on the money side. You're just far too average. I mean, Vosu is an average driver. I'm sure we could be fighting towards the top 10 if we had the best drivers we could afford. Or even not afford. They can really make a big difference. And it was always something I questioned, how big a difference the drivers really do make in this game. And I think I've realised the last few seasons with the drivers we've had in this championship in particular. We've always had pretty good drivers in the single-seater. In this championship in particular, I'm starting to realise just how much of an impact they have. And as I said, Vosu is average and he can race okay up to sort of 14th, 15th. Tang is well below average. Apparently I've got a lot of spare fuel. I can't see because of the recording thing how much fuel he's got. Can I tell on here? 3.4. So that must be 1.4 laps. Oh, shut up. Brakes now at 6%. He's probably not even going to finish the race. There's Silveria up ahead. We use our last little boost on the straight. Can he get one position? Just shut up. Is there a mute button for him? Please, for the love of God. This is apparently our final lap. Oh, it's the final lap for the leader, I was going to say. We should have to do one less lap at least. Oh, come on. Let's go high push. Give it everything. Tank. It's just too far ahead, Silveria. And we're going to cross the line. In 18th place. That was a complete disaster. You are correct, Tang. At long last, you got something right. And I agree with you for a change. At least praise you for that. Right. That's going to be that incredibly difficult episode. We're going to have a season of them. Just keep your help and advice coming, of course. I might even start cutting some of these down. I don't know. Let me know if you still enjoy the sort of full race episode, even when we're doing as badly as this. I still think they're interesting. I still think there's chances to come, and we just got to keep pushing on. A couple of penalties there didn't affect us, so 18th and 19th we improve by one position from last race. And Vosu out again. So with 15th and 18th, still okay. So Nakata Performance have got a couple of points. So 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th without a point now. So 1 point will still bring us up to 7th. And that's what we've got to hold on for. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode as always. Do hit that like button if you did. Leave your help and advice coming for this series in particular. Also leaving a mark as to whether you think we should be continuing this. I think we've got to see the payoff. We've got to see if improving the car this year and improving our budget, getting some better racers next year, whether we can make a real step forward. But we are really, really struggling. Let's be honest. Right, Vosu has a cracked rib from last time, so we might have to put a reserve driver in the next race. I don't think we have a reserve driver, though. I think he's a rolling contract driver, unfortunately. But what can you do? Anyway, if you're new to the channel and for some reason you enjoyed this, you enjoy watching a man suffer, then you can go watch a much more successful series in the single-seater playthrough. You can tune in for some of the live streams on F1 2017 and watch some of the F1 2017 videos as well. It'd be much appreciated if you could subscribe as well. But as always, thank you so much for watching, everybody. It makes this bearable. This series in particular, it makes bearable. So thank you for that, and I'll see you again very soon.